Rant A. Dear me, this is not writing, this is typing, as Capote said of Kerouac's On the Road, 1956. What is today's count? How many days until something means something? The Oreo. I saw him eating a carton of Oreo ice cream. Fact. The daffodil. The movement. The sheaths of paper. The wait for the phone call. Why wait? Call yourself now. Ring, ring, I said. Ring, ring, all the angels flying and writing, writing, writing. Dance, dance, dance. Banana bread with chocolate chips. Rhetoric, cats. 3,000 words. Presto, changeo. Supplication. And she said once, I am loyal to a fault. Mind, mind, mind. Who's perfecter? Stencils, pencils, yellow mellow fellow. Where is the sensibleness? Brave to share all things, lots of bad writing, heaps of bad writing, graveyards of phrases, independent clauses, half-living ideas unearthed. They walk the night. New school, old school, grade school, element, Tory, anticipation, movement, city life, shades, corn husks, perfect things and gifts, trusting love even when it comes to the day-to-day. Ordinary love is better than no love or looking for love. Where are you going to be then? Add footnotes. Who knows? Who cares? I am hip-hop, Lil Wayne. Not everything is stolen as it was stolen, and English came from Charles Dickens. We're all recycled here, just having fun with it. Every day, waking up. Peaceful, passable, I've been typing, and it amounts to nowhere. Passing, lack of academics, and the singing is not poetry, no information. Another bluesy one, but it is less than bluesy. Too many words and I. Who are you to say, well, I am not telling you, and that's how. Sand on the beach. Thinking is not wasted. Every day lived is a victory. 4 clouds on the horizon at sunset. One looks like a horse. The last one looks like a turtle. Wait, a turkey. Pink sky. All these videos told me about love, and I forgot what it was. So here I am again, doing it, signing up for love in my own life. Instead of the movie love, I tell myself, I'm macho man enough about it. Love sickness is largely just not communicating like a friend, I'm learning. Too much sex. Lots of words. The place here, but here doesn't talk back, is not warm, is not flesh like me. But why would the robots know how to talk to humans anyway? It's like us trying to train birds. We can do it, but in comparison, we are unusual, different. Watching a new sitcom now, Kath and Kim, and I know from experience that Australian sitcoms are funnier. Foreign things register as clever. The same language, English all around, and in other places too. Worcesterites are the lingua franca. It will not become Mandarin unless the people here become studious, because that language starts from a whole different place. It's unlikely. What is English with Mandarin looking like? Anyhow, woe is me. Spinning around and giving out Times New Roman. As every time one is depressed, just one denying themselves love, not seeing love that is here, in front of face, below chin. Philosopher with speech impediment asks, how did we fall into this? Lots of distractions. Video of Shiva mentions 7 poisons. Be loyal to Christ, human. Timothy, yes. There is certainly a language in the language, and it was perhaps a suppression that is now being slightly unveiled, but only in syllables. But why did we suppress it? Pop music. I read it. In Timothy, God is very invisible again, like he remains to the Jews. Is it here? Probably. But many good philosophers go unread. They aren't even out in the world. They design it from their chairs. I was going to go to the event tonight, but decided I wanted to sit here and smell. My armpits smell like forever. The odor. Dandelion Wine, 1957, and Perfume, 1985, are both recommended novels. Are you a rationalist? I'm me, a Catholic. A Buddhist, if I live in the woods later on. But in a godless consumer society, one needs Christ's sword. If you don't buy it, they'll cut you off, then convince you you are worthless. But that's only in your 20s. By your 30s, you're unsure how many of them survived the flood. The rain falls hard on a humdrum town. The Smiths' favorite. Moondog. Bowie's Soul Love. New love, a boy and girl are talking. New words that only they can share in. From the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Lecture in a few weeks in a record store with maybe no one going, but I'll still lecture. Even if the boss needs to excuse himself, like that time as a barback at the Compass Tavern, I drew a mural on a chalkboard of flowers and trees, and the boss needed to leave when it was done, was being heckled by a drunk who thought the trees were phalluses. It was in chalk dust. I still smell. We'll use the toilet. Stomach bubbles sound like the word crap. Automatopoeia. I used to think, soon as I saw this potty talk in a writer's work, they had failed. But I'm thorough cynic now, and I must explore the standard. Body reality cannot be gross to a man wanting to get married like marriage should be. Love as humans. Happy each day alive. Phew. I walk around the streets sometimes wondering if I'll just keep walking, but alas, I like to collect things for home. Wanting to be good at writing is in large part a vice. But what it will mean one day is God-inspired, so long as I love it. If the comet striketh the land, I'll be standing up straight as a man. This month is a lot of mush. That's okay. Woozy. I heard a poem earlier. Wasn't going to include poems here in 2023, so I won't. But it had to do with a blue-eyed bluebird born in a nest of straw. He's the poem. My life is my message, said Gandhi. Later on, the machine dinosaurs return. Diplodocus. Chickens are their close ancestors. What a ridiculous statement, isn't it? Chickens are their close ancestors. Facts seemingly aren't important unless an expert hears them in a context. They need a context. The first fact is the necessity of that discussion. We, the people, reciting facts is a babble chamber, but we must know the law. And if one claims they are religious but doesn't share, they are a snob. This is how it sounds on the grounds outside. That, and the men who are walking into the convenience store earlier asking the other, "Do you have food stamps?" Chinese finger traps. I'll put this into the GR chat for spell check, and hopefully it evolves, steps out of the computer, and starts to mediate any bad blood in families so that we all can really advance from these here doohickeys. Joke. I don't use that software. I'm older than that technology. Please. AI bot spontaneously develops theory of mind, says the article. That's great. Now get Americans to understand what theory of mind is from household to household. Do something not equating to another spurious article. Nay, what to do? Put Immanuel Kant's 3 critiques into a metal body and send it around to pontificate. We'll be here for several generations that way, trying to unravel his genius, waiting around in peace. Confucius advocated tradition and ritual, and also, according to white text on a black square on my phone, Confucius says, if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch neither one. I am the rabbit. But I am confusing today, abstract. To be here now is death. I'm death then, so it seems. Do you have food stamps? Looking like a person. That's good. A mind on that thing is lethal. It would be mad rambling if it wasn't creative. Like the man who I heard outside the Main Street Market who said, "You had sex on the computer and made me watch." It's a good thing he said that, because that's what happens in action. Actions are the manifestations of thoughts, aren't they? And in that way, the boring ones are boring because they are acting but saying they never thought that. Automatons for dough and mediocrity. Time is money. Tisk, tisk, hush, hush, who am I? 40 seconds of scrolling on the internet, coming back to the blank sheet still alive. Where was I? Ah, yes, song in the head. Favorite song. Take it away. Take It Away by The Used. The Used is a favorite band of mine. I saw Burt McCracken a year ago at the Palladium. If we agree on A, Burt on stage was quickly on letter 300, a moving, running, screaming frontman. He's been known. Man is from Utah, ex-Mormon. I'm not assuming nothing. I'm just relaying. Made a painting called The End of the World, put a blue piece of tape under and wrote $4. And just like that, I've finished it. I've set the goal of 3,000 words, so this is how one writes, types, Capote to Kerouac. Now this is quite literal, but it has to get done sometimes. And if I feel nothing about a story and tell it, I will get more and more into fairyland until I lose something raw that makes me tell zing-zang tales. That's what I tell myself about word-of-mouth writing. But again, this sort of thing is in all the characters I write if they sat down to it. So you read part, you confirm another. There is not a leaven language. There is mind, like the mind that must have been in all the people in the Bible, as their lives take a sentence. Their life comes to a sentence. Most of ours will come to less than that as people, but we will be recycled. Avalon, that's where King Arthur waits till the universe expands and contracts again. Saying such things as if they are understandable is the irony of life. Yeah, so what? Paper or plastic, windbag? We each know far more than what makes life habitable. The original philosophical question is, how do I live the good life? I don't know when or where I heard that, but I'll stand by it like my grandma in her kitchen, repeatedly drawing attention to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes, but is yours the good life? Will be my experienced, paternal, wise old man refrain. Nicholas the Poodle is my final term. I'm okay with that in infinite eternity. Dinosaurs there, wars there, sickness there, plague rats. Nicholas the Poodle here in a Patagonia pullover, living after a day of childish lovesickness. I could have it no other way, and it comes to this. This and the fact that I'm going to go have pasta with red sauce. Raving is what it's called, But if it's typed, then, well, there was a mind putting it into the print. Years of evolution. Allah. Body. That's art. Hot stuff. It's not what I aim at every day. The key would be to move this into the jellyfish that is propelling toward the sunlight under the sea. Sacked. Won. The kingdom. I find the happiness here and let you know about it because it's possible. But it does not last all day because there are more actions, more to life, to experience for emotions. There seems to be a lot of decisions to make, though the wise men say there is only one decision to make. It would be silly to listen to these people without thinking for myself at the end of my courses. But I say I'd be a lot happier if I just woke up and knew what I was supposed to focus on instead of restarting everything. And there is something to learn there in the focus. Thinking turns to reason, then no need for thought. The heart mind's making mistakes, but my heart is damaged, told it was mistaken, told it is mistaken. Because one cannot write like this these days. There's far less spoken about, and only small exchanges for one who is reasoning at this depth. Sesquipedalian. I don't know. I don't remember other ages. I know at one point there was no language at all, which makes raving more elegant than it seems today. This a sophisticated scream coming from fingertips. I don't know, but I want to make everyone a year older so we can be young again. Their closest relatives are chickens, either asleep or full of desires. Some days I'm this, and some days I'm that. I love the Buddha. He's not a god. I love the sense of hearing. I love the aching body leaning toward a dream, no idea how to get there, unreasonable, caustic. Kindness is nice. But there's no one scaling this building to bring me flowers, and I make my own pudding. Jesus did it. Go see him. A phone at one side of the computer, a book on the other, to doom scroll or to slowly make my way toward hard thinking that makes me see the peace and rest. I'll go for a walk tonight. I might not. What would Big Eye do? This is what Big Eye would do, and I love it for the moment. Several others on the street. I don't know if Stephen King is capable of this. I know he's not here now at 50 Franklin. I reckon a lot of writers get up, go to the computer, open the file of their latest novel, and continue to talk about themselves as if they are imagining something, but the great writers are telling the stories of their characters. Sally Rooney. I like how she's telling what's happening now. And if publishing is doing a good job, why do all the people of Worcester not know who Zadie Smith is? I'd be frustrated. That's why I can do this here and know it has merit. London is a dream away, a lifetime away, but I can walk outside and put others next to a writer, even one who does this. It's not a blog. It's going to be on paper, e-text, then an audio file. I'm crafting the air with my voice. I, the bard. I've got to hit the mark, bullseye. And the feeling of it is something that is experienced alone and is good for one day, much like defeating an enemy, and the enemy is themselves. But I am born again tomorrow, in meditation. I know that the days do not rebirth me. I know that the thoughts I think keep coming are actually a new thought that seems the same. I hold on because I'm not body enough. It is not the same old thing. Is my energy not being tall enough? Lord God, a pillar of fire, please. I don't know if the Pharaoh's men are chasing me, but I'd like to feel alive like that. I suppose I could go for that walk at night, but the problems I have are in my heart. and they are not made out there on a large scale, and maybe that makes me inferior. We divide them up. Scratch. Spiridon's Earth Note. Acting in a world inside myself, more careless about the outside world. I wonder what comes next for such a man, at least. As the water was boiling, I realized we are born, then learn a conception of the world, then that world dies, then we gain an intelligence that prepares us for death, and we then die. And I highly doubt we die then, but are reborn, unless you're a master. If there are past lives, I was probably a writer last time, because I am still hurting my heart to want to write something good. I don't like past lives, though. They're dangerous. I want to sit on my rug and be at peace and grow up. The goodest thing I know right now is that I made an error, yet my feet are still flat on the ground. I cannot accept that error in student papers, or when anyone else does it, for then I am playing as the teacher. But really, it is okay. It is an experiment in the long game. But let error be on paper, reversing itself, rather than have me being civil to the ladies at the market. I do care. I just think looking around, sitting together, talking. See, I care a lot. But all that is rather offensive. I've written this, then I'll go out and talk to you. About what? Pizza Hut? The #1 grossing pizza chain? Maybe. Remark. My qualm is that I heard a lot about concepts from those who never read when we did get to talking. So they proudly say nothing unusual or new, but you must love them though, because it's not about intelligence when it comes to loving your fellow man, unless it's empathy. Someone never told me that. Maybe they've started reading. Now I am multiplying Jesus' swords, because the parents nowadays don't have time to self-analyze in relation to the internet goop. For many Americans must work too much to afford the whole works, and we're amidst strangers with our kids. New kitchen pot. If you listen to the chatter of the world while minding your lower body, hips, legs, feet, things register far differently than if you were hearing them yesterday. A baby is born. I have no doctorate in subjects, but I know they are there, and that's a start. That's curiosity. That's a wonderful thing to have undying, better than unhealthy urges. I want 10 dogs, a hut, trees, the sun in the morning. I'll rest on a walk. I'll feel things behind my own knees like sand, and I recognize there is a language named Sanskrit.